That was fantastic. Hello and welcome to Competition, the new Noobifier channel having to do with eSport racing. So it makes sense for me to post this rundown here as it's completely on topic, and look out for it over on the main channel because it's important for me to get this information out to the 68,000 people who follow me there, right? ATMO Esports, who are very well known for their Fight in Flight and Hearst and Hurt Locker live events, are back with more. These are the most successful online Star Citizen events, and today was the best. The Daymar Rally is an annual event that truly takes the best potential that Star Citizen has to offer and showcases it in a nail-biting race across Daymar in the Stanton system. 400 competitors and 200 staff, I'm not joking. The rally kicked off on the 15th of January, hosted by Crucian Gaming and Detox TV. The route starts at Shubin Mining, passing checkpoints, and ends up at Kudra Ore, which is a total of 510 kilometers. Daymar is a dirty, sketchy rock that law often turns a blind eye to. This gives us an opportunity to return to our smuggler roots and fight it out for bragging rights and to test our resolve. The race is broken down into buggy, truck, and bike classes, with this year also having a support class to keep things interesting and fair. The Cyclone class has no limit to which you can choose. Do you take the speed or the extra protection? The Ursa Rover and the Spartan are both part of the truck class. The bike category is Dragonfly or Nox. And I didn't see any Stark Hidden Dragonflies, to which I am very disappointed. We can do better, people. Anyways, so it's up to the team to choose what class fits their style the best, but be warned, weapons are allowed shortly after the race begins. The rules are very simple: 2 drivers maximum per vehicle, no live fire until 3 minutes after the start line. All checkpoints have a 500-meter armistice zone. Race vehicles can fire on opponents' sport craft, and that includes hand weapons. All team members can alternate driving the race vehicles during the race. If all team members die during the race, the rally is over for them. Spare vehicles are allowed up to the maximum capacity of the sport craft. Only 1 vehicle can race per team, per division at one time. 1 driver must enter a checkpoint to complete the check or to finish the race. And if all race vehicles are destroyed, the driver may continue on foot, which I'd never seen until today. It makes sense that if a member dies, they're permanently removed from the race, and a driver can carry their own supply of ammo, med pens, and oxypens. The thing that makes or breaks this competition is the support team. Their choice of support craft and crew is integral to the completion of the Daymar Rally. Not only are they the source for spares and restock, they're also your eyes and ears when traversing difficult terrain. In the pitch black of night, the support craft is critical to the participants as they're led through the difficult terrain to get through the canyons when you're unable to see the way. The Freelancer was the original craft of choice, but this year we have newer and larger ships that were released, so the standard became the C2. The support craft cannot interfere with the other racers, which includes ramming, crashing into, blocking the path, or messing with other support craft. This sort of event took a ton of planning from a team of well over 200, so please sit back and let me break down some of the finer details. After the pre-show, the racers began from the Cyclone, bike, and truck divisions on numerous servers. From the start, from the footage, there was some really ballsy driving as drivers tried to get ahead and away from danger. Some of the drivers from the Cyclone division seemed to take massive damage immediately after leaving the pad. It's a long race, and Crucian reminded us that the race isn't over just because of a small setback. Rocks combined with blind crests and more rocks played havoc with all the competitors. I was shocked to see that some of the teams actually had chosen to not rely on their support craft very early on. Some did, however, take full advantage of the extra light and the extra guidance. Bikes, after the updated changes to Gravlev, were super quick, clocking kilometer after kilometer, weaving through or over the obstacles and avoiding them completely. Cyclone spent what seemed like an eternity of hang time midair because of the lower gravity. The bikes were so quick that some of the chase cameras were actually having trouble keeping up. After only 20 minutes in, the first bikes began arriving at the first checkpoint, but there was some cheeky action as one of the competitors seemed to have rammed another who dismounted to check in. Some seemed to have taken too much damage and required a changeout very early on in the race. Xenostate and Water Patat were each providing some super smooth action despite following the bike division. Truck and buggy divisions were about half as quick as the bikes with their progress. I couldn't decide personally if the Spartan was graceful or sketchy flying through the air. It was fantastic and exciting to watch as the racers continued into daylight with very little combat. Everyone seemed to just be focused on getting to the next checkpoint, having spread wide out, choosing their way through the terrain. Shipwreck followed a cyclone for about 10 minutes as it took massive air and its fair share of incidents with obstacles. It was incredible to see how quickly some buggies got to the 90-kilometer mark, and some teams were also all the way back, only having done 30 kilometers. Not only are the racers fighting each other, they're also fighting the clock. Different servers began at slightly out of sync, so we would need to wait for all the competitors to complete the race before awarding the win. My plan originally was to list the attrition as it happened, but it was simply too chaotic to list the individual wins and losses. Many teams took the opportunity to get a fresh vehicle at the checkpoints to clean up some damage. Many of the teams also decided to swap out drivers at each stop to get a fresh set of eyes for the next leg. The day had me on the edge of my seat as the drivers kept the pedal to the floor and threw caution to the wind. Daymar took its toll and rewarded the brave with a win. We got notification from Crucian and Detox that after 1 hour, some of the bikes had finished the entire 510-kilometer course. At the same time, the trucks were making it to their first stop with over 400 kilometers to go. Crucian clarified again that the total time would determine the winner, not whoever arrived first, so we would have to wait for the official times. As the game has simulated day-night cycles, we were back to evening and then night again, relying on the light from the support craft to help navigate. 2 hours and 45 into the race, we had trucks that were 3/4 done and buggies who were starting to arrive at the end. Most of the bikes had already arrived, checked in, and were warming up in the bar. We got confirmation that one of the teams reported to have run out of support spares, and they had decided just to complete it on foot. The bike winners were confirmed. Far Out was first, Mutant Motor Mob was second, and O-Corp was third. The buggies were averaging around the 3-hour 45 mark, Torbor Dustmasters first place, Nova Rising Storm second place, and Code Alpha third place. Some of the competitors were interviewed if they were available after they had finished, and it was very fun to hear about their experience. Crucian confirmed that some of the times were too close for him to call, and it came down to the official results from Corsair. The trucks after 4 hours were still 100 kilometers from the finish. The official results from the truck division were Kuroda Rip first, Slenipir second, and Polish Space Marines were third. The event was better than ever this year, with the team's efforts being very easy to see in the production. I saw 3,000 peak viewers, and if you missed it, at least you got a chance to see the summer here. Make sure to follow ATMO on Twitter so that you get the latest information on the next event. And that's about all I have to say about this year's event. It was super fun, it was a very long day, and I'm going to run out the rest of the video with some of the best mesmerizing footage from the race. I found it so hard to look away, so I figured, why not add some of the best clips for those of you that missed it? Am I wrong? Thanks very much for spending your time with me. Rubber side down, shiny side up, paddle to the floor.
you.